In today's class, we are going to discuss about the history of chemistry and application of chemistry in certain fields of our lives. In previous days, the branch of chemistry was known as alchemy, and the chemists or scientists who do chemical works and experiments were known as alchemists. They were largely discredited by the scientific community since alchemists included occult and religion, leading to scientific research. So, alchemy and alchemists are the older words for chemistry and chemists, where alchemists transformed or created substances through a seemingly magical process. So, it was not a proper scientific process because it lacked many scientific proofs. So, these were known as the alchemy and the alchemists. They performed their work through some magical processes. This was the story or the legend as it goes. Picture of Nicholas Flamel, who was an alchemist of the older times, and he claimed to transform metals or any metal like iron, copper, nickel, or lead, or any metal into gold. So other metals were inexpensive metals and gold was very expensive metal. So Nicholas Flamel actually claimed that he was able to transform metals into gold. Now, all of you have seen the movie Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, or the movie Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, right? So, this is a picture of a compound or a stone which is known as the Philosopher's Stone. So, what is Philosopher's Stone? The so called Philosopher's Stone was the most sought after goal in the world of alchemy, the medieval ancestor of chemistry. So, everyone actually wanted to find out Philosopher's Stone, and everyone wanted to have Philosopher's Stone. Why? Because according to the legend, the Philosopher's Stone was a substance that could turn ordinary metals like iron, tin, lead, zinc, nickel, or copper into precious metals like gold and silver. So everyone wanted to have gold and silver, and in order to have gold and silver, everyone wanted to have Philosopher's Stone. It also acted as an elixir of life with the power to cure illness. So the legend goes that the Philosopher's Stone has the ability to cure illness of people, renew the properties of youth. So it was able to keep the human young for a long time and even grant immortality to those who possessed it. It is actually not a stone. In reality, it is not a stone, but it is somewhat like a powder or a liquid potion in reality. But the picture is actually from the movie. So, alchemy later became a pseudoscience. What is pseudoscience? Pseudoscience is some science which lacks adequate proof. Science is always based on proofs, evidences. But pseudoscience, alchemy was later regarded as a pseudoscience because it lacked enough proofs or enough evidences. Now we are going to discuss about the role of chemistry in food preservation. So why do we need to preserve foods? Because the foods can get spoiled easily by bacteria and other microorganisms that are present in the air. So to prevent the food from spoilage, we need to preserve the foods. And also, if we eat the spoiled food, we will get very sick. We will have food poisoning and we will get sick. So to prevent us from illness and to prevent the spoilage of food, there is some methods which we use to preserve the food. So there are some chemicals that are used in food preservation. There is benzoic acid, which is used as a preservative in jam, pickles, cold drinks, etc. Then there are nitrates that are used to preserve meat products. Then there are sulfur compounds which are used to preserve beverages and wine, which is an alcohol. Then there is another preservative, butylated hydroxyanisole, which is used to preserve butter, meats, etc. Then there is another food preservative, butylated hydroxytoluene or BHT, which is used to prevent oxidation and spoilage of food. The other preservatives are lactic acid, sorbic acid, sugar, salt, etc. The very common method of chemical food preservation that we use at our homes is pickling. We use sugar, salt, oil, etc. to make pickles of different fruits and vegetables, and this is a very good method of food preservation. There are also other processes of food preservation which is known as food processing. Food processing is the production of marketed food products from raw materials which will not get spoiled for a longer period of time. And the processes it includes are mincing, adding preservatives, cooking, canning, pickling, and packaging. So this is a picture of canning. We can different fruits like carrots, it is a vegetable, chickpeas, golden corn, then baby corn, then pineapples, etc. So different fruits and vegetables are canned and packed, and they can be used for a longer period of time. Then there is mincing. The garlics have been minced in smaller chunks and they have been stored in a airtight container, and like this the garlic can be used for a longer period of time. The food mainly gets spoiled because every food has a lot of water in it. The water and the water vapor actually have different bacteria and other microorganisms which eventually spoil the food. So in food preservation process, we actually dehydrate the food material or remove the water from the food material. How do we do it? We do salting. What is salting? We use salt to cover the food materials. In this slide you can see that there are fishes which has been covered in salt, and by this way the fish can be stored for a long period of time. Then there is pickling. Here we have used different fruits and different vegetables, and we can use salt, sugar, oil or vinegar to pickle them and to keep them for a long period of time.